Hello, hello, we're live.
Yeah, live?
Yeah, we're live. Hello, everyone.
Really live?
Yeah, we are live. Hi, everyone. This is our monthly community call. We're so excited for everyone that is here today. We have so many Bitsters. It's I think our largest,
proudest,
loudest. We got it. Community call ever. So thank you so much for everybody here. Let's start with some introductions. With us on the call, live from New York, littleBits headquarters, our engineering lab is our director of R&D, Mr. Paul Rothman.
Hello.
Also with us today is Gabby from Rio de Janeiro. She's a chapter leader and from the Olabi Makerspace, and an amazing human being. Also, Maria, let me read your name because it is I might mess up. Maria Molinero Murale. I hope I did it justice. Artist extraordinaire and designer of the Beacent. If you guys have seen it, it's an amazing contraption, and we're going to do a live demo shortly. And also, last but not least, Mark Barnett from San Antonio, Texas. He's here today to talk to us about the Geek Bus, another chapter leader. So I'm out of breath.
So I'll take him here. Don't worry about that. I got it. With us today, there's so many noobs on the call, and so we want to extend a very warm welcome to all of you, especially the noobs. And we want to talk about some of the community tools that we use, starting with the Hangout, which we're in right now.
Yeah.
So. This Hangout is provided by MIT. It's a platform where we can all Google Hangout. And while you're listening to us blabber right now, eventually we'll break out into smaller rooms and have more intimate conversations.
Yeah, and you might also notice we love the forums. So we're on the forums all the time. It's the right spot to meet others who are working on projects. To also just connect with other chapter leaders, get ideas. And the best place to go for that is discuss.littlebits.cc/categories or -categories/categories. Go there. You can see all the categories. There are categories in different themes, event ideas, design challenges, you name it. Yeah, what's your favorite forum category, Nick?
I love the chapters forum.
Oh, really?
I'm an events guy, so I love hearing about what you guys are planning with your events, and love learning from you guys. And what about you?
I'm glad you're asking. My favorite is announcements, and maybe that's because there are a lot of announcements to make. So a lot of announcements. I'm going to try to switch this guy on.
So what do we have in terms of announcements?
So we have Maker Faire San Francisco coming up in the Bay Area. If you are there in May, please write us a note. We actually have a special thing to offer today. We have about 12 to 15 passes to the first people on Instagram who at littleBits send us a picture of yourself, #MakerFaire. So we're going to give out a bunch of free passes for Saturday and Sunday for Maker Faire. We're also looking for volunteers in the area, so if you want to come help meet designers and engineers from littleBits, and also get a $150 coupon to get anything you want bit related. Please also drop us a note in the forums under announcements.
There's so many announcements.
So many announcements, indeed. What other announcements do we have?
Oh, yeah, the Maker Faire. So let's go back to favorite categories. What about you, Paul? What's your favorite category?
My favorite category is Project Buzz.
Oh,
because
really?
you get to see all the great stuff that people are talking about, working on. It's a lot of fun to see the bits in action out in the world.
Yeah. Speaking of, another big announcement, I am back in the announcement arena, is that this month is Make Music May month. So we're inviting you all.
Music May.
Make Music May. We're inviting you all to make musical projects, musical events, and just overall make music for our ears. And that takes us to the theme for the day. We have a wonderful kind of lineup, which is around, music and synth projects and so on. But before we get there, we have one more tool that we use, Nick. What is that?
It's the website, of course. So the website is where you can go and see all the chapters that are going on and the events that are listed underneath those chapters. And if you're a chapter leader, you can go and create an event and manage your membership. And if you're a community member, you can go and sign up for events.
And the URL for it is littlebits.cc/community/chapters. Okay.
So I have a quick quiz for everybody. How many new chapters do we have total now? Anybody? Type it in the chat.
How many do you think, Paul?
12.
I say 20.
I'm not going to say because I know.
In the chat, I don't know, we have some numbers. 5. I don't know. How many do we have?
60.
60.
Whoa.
As of today, we have 60.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
Cool. Congratulations to all the new chapter leaders. It's amazing to see everybody's response, and we're so glad that you are here.
Mm-hmm.
And those pages look so wonderful. So go ahead, click away, add your events, sign up to be a member. So I think we need to move on with our pack agenda for the day. We're going to start with some music, and our first demoer, who is Maria. Maria, I'm going to pass it on to you. If you want to unmute and tell us a bit about the vSynth. Maria, you have to unmute. Do you want to click unmute? Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. I have an old computer. I'm Maria. I'm from Madrid. I'm a designer. I just ended my degree in interactive graphic design. And for the last project, I made a vSynth. It's a do-it-yourself synth where I made an app, but it's in development state. You have 3 modes, and the app consists in learning music, but in an easy way, because I think sometimes music is very difficult for child to understand. So I made some visuals that help kids to understand how music goes. Now I'm gonna show you the third mode, which is for adult people that are interested in music, more like electronic or something like that, and in code. So the idea is you can upload your own code, make it in processing, so you can do your own visuals. I made an easy one that is an oscilloscope, and it's on live. I'm gonna show you how it's
powering on.
Well, I connect this the vSynth to this new little baby I bought. It's a synth from Teenage Engineer, and it's really cool. So I pass the sound through the little bits, so you can control it and make. So you can do. Well, now it's not going.
Powering on.
Well, the streaming thing is that not always going that well, but you can also control it with a MIDI using another sound software. a synth, you can connect it to the computer and make what you want. So this is it.
That is awesome, and it sounds super funky too. To everybody in the chat, if you haven't checked Maria's project, you should definitely check it out. It's beautiful, and the video documentation is great. And if people have questions for Maria, please feel free to ask in the chat. In the meantime, Paul, do you wanna
Sure.
move the chairs?
Musical chairs.
Musical chairs, indeed.
Part the seats.
Woo-hoo.
Music May.
Music
Yeah,
May.
so I just have a little setup here of utilizing some of the new modules that we released a few weeks ago, partnered with Korg, and using some Korg gear as well. So the first one I'll show is the Korg SQ1 sequencer, which you can connect to your synth kit via a proto module, or via the MIDI module, or via the CV module. So regardless, you can have a lot of different options to connect. So I'll just start a sequence. So you can hear a sequence going. I can change the speed just like with the micro sequencer, but I've got more steps here. Another option I have is I have a little keyboard here, and that's I have it connected to Ableton Live, and so I'm able to basically use a regular kind of MIDI keyboard to play. So you have that option. You know, the synth kit comes with the small keyboard module, but if you want to actually start playing with a full-size keyboard, for any piano players out there, we have that capability through the MIDI module. Also, recording a MIDI pattern, you're able to play it back. So in this case, I have Ableton Live. Playing back a clip that I had played before. So you can record MIDI into the computer and then play it back through the synth kit, affect the sounds, play with the filters, things like that. And then I also have a USB I/O module connected, so I can record anything that I'm doing with the synth kit directly into the computer. So if I just start recording here, I was playing back the clip, but if I want to record something live, I can play. And then if I play that back, so that audio is coming from the computer, so you're able to take any sounds that you make in the synth kit, record them into your computer. You can loop over and do all sorts of more complex recording, making a whole track, recording, you know, bass parts, melodic parts, percussion parts, all that stuff into your computer and layer it and make a whole composition using just the synth kit and your computer.
Awesome. Can we see them up close? Can we see some of the synth kits?
Some of the synth bits, sure. I'll bring this whole thing over here. Unplug it. So we made this nifty little case. Our industrial designer Jordy designed and built this. So you can see it's got some ergonomic panel design with some mounting boards. So here we have the MIDI module. Some of the other modules from the synth kit. Here's the USB I/O module that I was using to record into the computer. And then I actually didn't demo it just now, but I have another USB I/O module here, which I was previously connecting to a program called Maxim SP, which allows me to, using software, control the filter cutoff here. So I can, you know, have the hardware integrating with the software really easily, and then it kind of really expands the palette of sounds and control that you have when working with the synth kit.
Great, thank you so much,
Yeah.
Paul.
Very
People, if you guys have questions in the chat, please let us know. We're going to answer them all together at the end. So next up is wonderful Gabby. Gabby, go ahead, take it away.
Okay, great. Welcome all the new chapters. I'm really excited to know about all of you in the project. So let me share the presentation that I prepared. Oh, where is it? Sorry, everyone. I will start talking as I'm not finding the presentation. Oh, yeah, it's here. Yeah, can you see it? No, it's not working, sorry. Yeah, I don't know why it's not. Okay, sorry. I misunderstood all the process. I don't know why it's not working.
Oh,
But
you're doing
basically,
great. There it is.
yeah, basically, we are OLAB Makerspace based in Rio de Janeiro. We have a space that is part of the Fab Lab network and also is part of different kinds of network makers around the world. And we have...
Sorry to interrupt you. We can't see your slides. We're seeing actually ourselves. If you want to just like try again.
Okay.
I know they're tough. I always get mixed up.
Yeah, it was working that time. Can you see now? Can you see the screen now?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, great. Sorry, everyone, about that. So basically, we are a place that we have our maker area, and also we have a layer of projects that we've been doing in Rio and around Brazil, and actually connected to different kinds of network around the world. I'm now in Berlin for a conference that it will get with people from the south of the globe that is working in crafty, in maker, and this kind of projects. So we have an education area that is working different kinds of workshops like Camperty, robotics, Arduinos, all these things. And also we are trying to make connection of different parts of the city. So we have a social arm, which we have support for some foundations and different kinds of things. So we are trying to basically have an environment where people can do different kinds of things, like build their own lamp in kind of carpentry and design workshop. This is the people in the last workshop that was few weeks ago. And we have different kinds like skates and also 3D printers. We have a group working in biohacking and trying to help kids to start to code. And this one was the picture of the event that we made with the Little Bits. Our first event as Little Bits chapter was really, really cool. So we are focused on kids from different kinds and backgrounds and different parts of the city. It was really nice. And so basically our main goal in this kind of events, and with especially Little Bits and electronic things, is try to put people from different backgrounds in the same room. And we're also start all the activities with some funny and interactive thing. We have an outside place, so it's great because the people, especially when they are kids, they can interact with the ambient. They can play. They can, feel more comfortable, and then they can start to play. This one was a picture from the last Little Bits event. So the guys, like, they feel so comfortable that they in few minutes start to try to put the things on the water in our pool, because we have a pool inside our space, and it's like, well, of course that was not working. So although the guy in the picture was trying to help them, and then after that they made a little boat that wasn't properly working, but it was a really effort from the kids to try to make it happen. So it was really cool. And yeah, I have we have some projects and some more things explaining in the presentation that I will leave the link for everyone who wants to know more about our work. And everyone is welcome to go to our website and try to know more about everything that we've been doing in Rio. And I think that's it. I don't know if I talked much more than 5 minutes, so sorry about that, but This is our work here.
That was the shortest one yet. You were very efficient, Gabby. I love like your narrative and the way you talked about serendipity events. I think that's something that I know we definitely have been thinking of here. Mark, do you want to take it? Do you want to take it away? Talk to us about us.
Hi, my name is Mark, and the chapter leader in San Antonio. It's cool to meet all of the other chapters and see all the people involved around the world. We're primarily based out of Texas. So let me share my screen so you can see my presentation. This is a picture of the bus itself. It's a 40-foot RV that we take around to schools, and we go to after-school programs. We go to Boys and Girls Clubs and YMCAs and community centers. And we teach all kinds of programs from robotics to engineering to 3D printing to circuit design. And we use little bits as a way to get students interested in that first level of design and engineering. Here is a picture of kind of like the inside of the bus. So when you get in the bus, it's like disco lights and lights flashing everywhere, and so we try to create this really like wow factor when you step inside the bus. So on one side of the bus, we have all of these screens, and they're hooked up to Raspberry Pis. So we're doing programming and tech right in front of you on the screen. We have some different demonstrations and things that we do on the bus. In the back of the bus, there's a room, our makerspace, and in the back we have 3D printers, and we have soldering stations and circuit parts and Arduinos and little bits and a random assortment of things that you can use to create with and to hack with. And so we take this bus around all over the area. And so just in San Antonio alone, in the last year, we've been able to serve almost 14,000 students, and that's through some of our programs that are directly at schools and some of our programs that are out in the community, at the public libraries or at the YMCAs and the after-school programs and that kind of stuff. One of the things that we show off a lot is 3D printing. We just think it's a really valuable and impactful technology that's going to change the world. And this is a student that came to us last summer. And he said, I think that 3D printing, it's like an imagination factory. And so I use that little quote now, and I tell people about it. It's really interesting. And we have students that will design and make custom things that they can attach to little bits and things that they can take home in little projects. We also do lots of robotics. We're home to the largest FIRST Robotics regional in the United States. Every year we host that competition, and it's a really big event for us. Thousands of teams from all over the world come, and while they're here, we also do demos with the Geek Bus, and we get them hands-on with things that are other than robotics. We do computer programming and video game design. We use Makey-Makeys in different ways. We ask students to think about how to make their own controllers and their own interfaces, and about how people with disabilities might be able to use some of these materials. But for the most important thing that we try to do is we try to provide an area or an environment where students can feel creative, where they can learn about new technologies and not feel scared of them, but to feel welcome with them. And we provide that by giving students samples, and we give them demos, and we get them directly hands-on with the equipment so that they're not intimidated by it. And sure enough, after a few minutes, they'll be surprised of their own abilities, start designing new things, asking in-depth questions, and wanting to learn more. And so we always try to follow up and leave them with resources. Go to the Little Bit website, go to SparkFun website, go to Scratch, go to these places and keep learning after we're gone. And then we also provide a way for students to get back in touch with us, to ask more questions. And so here's some pictures of students doing some work directly with us in the Boys and Girls Club. It's a great program for after school that is now trying to do STEM. And so, with the bus, we just try to have the highest impact possible. There's some pictures of us doing some soldering at a public library. We had 1,000 students show up one day, and we taught them how to solder. We go to hackathons, so if other organizations that are hosting a hackathon will bring the bus and all of our materials, and we'll set up workshops and classes. So if you want to get a hold of me through Little Bits, you can do that as well on the community page, or also my email and my Twitter. I'm at maker_Mark, where I post constantly and interact with as many people as I possibly can around the world. So that's it about the Geek Bus.
Thanks so much, Mark. That's really, really amazing.
Inspiring.
And inspiring. We have a bunch of questions for you guys and you, Paul, from the chat. So first question is for you, Maria. It's from Renault. And he says, I saw you got the CV MIDI bits. Yeah, you were the winner of our #MakeMusic contest on Instagram. You showed a beautiful synth that you would use to put in the new CV MIDI bits. So the question is, what do you plan to use them in? No pressure. we can't hear you. Sorry. Can you unmute?
Hi. Well, I'm thinking on do another custom scene, but with the shape of a TARDIS. So I'm going to use the kit to connect some synths, some analog synths, and make the sound of the real TARDIS, like back in the days when Doctor Who starts.
Oh, that is great. Great. It's also very appropriate for a Make Music May. I think we have a Make It Sing challenge coming up. Yeah. Speaking of music, I actually have a question for you.
Yes, Chloe.
So Paul, often you work with music installations, right? So like making music is one thing. I wonder, like, what's your creative process when you design music and sound for spaces or for like objects?
I guess the interactivity is really important to me. So bringing people in to the work is really important. So like involving a visual element. So something that'll bring them in, and then something that'll keep them there to kind of experience the piece. So interactive movement, things like that you may not expect, something that may be out of the ordinary when you come into a space and start interacting with it. So yeah, I think that's some important elements of a good sort of installation.
Sound installation. Yeah. Speaking of unexpected surprises, another question we have is around serendipity, and Gabby touched a little bit on it. So I guess the question is, like, how do you design that serendipity in events? Like, the big part of events is, bringing people together and then just planning this magical atmosphere that's somehow unorganized but, still feels kind of focused. Gabby, you mentioned a few things about what do you do, some strategies you work on with Olabi. Do you want to talk a bit more about that? Unmute, please.
Okay, sorry. Basically, we are trying to design the whole space for make the people be in contact with each other and trying to make people from different backgrounds. I think a lot about that. So almost all of our activities, you can see a kid and a guy from 80 years old, like an old guy. So we are always trying to put people from different ages, different backgrounds, different realities, different social realities as well. So I think that's a really big challenge, our main force. And also try to design the space, like don't try to organize it that much and try to just leave the things and be really prepared to, start to guide the things, but after the people try to make their own things first. Because in our experience, I don't know if it's a Brazilian thing, because the people is really interacted and they really want to try to things before. They don't want to follow rules that much. So in our experience, the things works better when you just like leave the things, make a kind of chaotic environment and just put the people together, and then they start to have some questions, they start to be curious about that, and then you can come with some facilitators, mentors, like helping the things. So this is why we are trying to do in our activities, and this is our main role in this kind of workshop. So it's a big challenge. Sometimes it's easier, sometimes not, especially with the kids. Sometimes like when you have a lot of them, it's quite confusing, and all of the time is like you can live in this way, but this is we are like trying to do at the time. And it's been working, and it's great. And then the people start to come up again, because sometimes they have a school of robotic class at school, and sometimes the people can find this kind of place, but usually they are just about the same kind of people. So you are like with your peers are the same, they have the same background as you, and it's not that interesting. And sometimes the projects come from this is like quite similar from each other. So when you can make an environment that is more diverse, you can have a different kind of innovation happening. So this is why we are trying to make it.
Designing for diverse is really important, right? And like curating, almost like curating your audience in a way. Yeah, we have one last question before we're almost at 12:30 before we break up in rooms.
And I think that this is on everyone's mind, Mark, but how and where do you get a bus?
That's a great question. We were really, really fortunate that one of our sponsors, Rackspace Hosting, which is also located here in San Antonio, Texas, they gave us the bus. Originally they had the bus, and it was kind of like their corporate party vehicle, and they would take it to South by Southwest and other events, and it sat in the parking lot empty most of the time because they would only use it 2 or 3 times a year. And I met with the CEO and convinced them that we could do a whole lot more with the bus, and we do. We take the bus out every single day now, and it sees thousands of students. So we're very fortunate that Rackspace Hosting was able to provide us with the bus. So if you can find a sponsor out there like Rackspace, then maybe you could get a bus too.
Great job repurposing it.
Otherwise, we're all invited to your bus, right? Like everybody on the call. Yep. Okay. Cool. Great. So we're at 12:30 on the dot. So we're gonna move to the more fun part of this call, which is meeting with each other in the different rooms. You'll see there are different rooms listed in the Unhangout. If you're watching right now, they're like locked, but we're gonna shortly unlock them. We have a bunch of community veterans. We call them BitStars, who are gonna be wrangling those rooms. Some of them are marked chapter leaders, so if you're a chapter leader, you can pop in there, meet other chapter leaders from around the world. If you're more into making and stuff, there are also a bunch of rooms around that. I know our personal favorite is the after party room. There's always a party in the after party room.
It's just be called Mark's room.
Or, yes, or Mark's room. So yeah, we're gonna break into rooms. Take a look on the up right or left as you see it corner to get like messages from us. The first prompt will be to introduce yourself, say a few words about you or your organization if you're a chapter, and share your secret superpower. I don't know, what's yours?
Invisibility.
I knew it.
See through walls.
Okay. I have not figured mine yet, but we will be back. How about somebody from the panel? Mark, I feel you have one.
Definitely.
Well, I was breaking up on this and I didn't hear you.
What's your secret superpower?
Secret superpower? The power to manipulate electricity like Nikola Tesla.
Oh, wow. Okay, that was it. Mike, drop the mic. Okay, so wranglers in the room, just look out, are?
Alex from DC. We have Murray from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Lisa from Brooklyn. Leo from Argentina. And, of course, Jude.
Jude.
From outside of New York City.
Yeah. So, yeah, see you all in the rooms. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Gabby, Maria, and Mark, and Paul.